Let's take a look about the unshakable faith in love pathway. One of the very important skills to master for successful, ambitious, and independent women, which is self-love. And what do I mean by self-love? Is to keep nurturing and developing a beautiful, loving relationship with yourself. The common challenge I see from my clients that there's a gap between saying loving themselves and actually doing it, especially when their life is overwhelming with work and responsibility. And so many people are confusing or thinking that choosing themselves and loving themselves is an act of selfish, which is far from the truth. Because the truth is, we can only offer what we have. We can only love others to the degree that we love ourselves. And the consequences come with that, which is there's a need of having somebody else other than themselves to feel loved and be loved. There's a constant need of having somebody externally to validate that they are worthy of love. But what happened, and in the circumstance that the relationship comes to the end, or the relationship doesn't go the way that they want, or they could be single at the moment, it's easily for them to make that mean that they are not lovable, there's something wrong with them, they need to change for who they are, they need to become somebody else other than themselves. Those are one of the most disempowering, limiting beliefs. So people come to my training. I help them to apply and implement the ultimate love mastery, really breaking down to very practical and clear, actionable steps to access the abundance of love come from within them, to identify whatever they need in their life. Could be love, could be wealth, could be ease, could be peace or happiness. They already have within them, and accept those come from within them rather than chasing, rather than seeking external solution. And with that, the more they feel good about who they are, the more they feel secure about who they are as a human being, the more they can see and recognize the amazing human being, amazing woman which is already within them, so that they can truly stand up and speaking up for what truly important to them and to their life. The second skill to master for successful, ambitious, and independent women, which is self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is to really learn to embrace and accept the wholeness of who you are. The common challenge I see from successful, ambitious, and independent women that it's okay when they achieve success. They feel good about themselves when they achieve success, but it's so difficult for them when they encounter setbacks, when they encounter failures. There's a need of being perfect all the time because they are not feeling good enough as who they are. And the consequences come with that. It is unsustainable anyway. How can they expect themselves to take perfect action? How can they expect themselves to take perfect action when they try to learn a new skill, when they try to put themselves outside their comfort zone? Remember the first time when we all tried to learn the bicycle, right? How many times we hurt ourselves? How many times we falling down until we can drive the bicycle properly? So it's similar to when they put themselves outside their comfort zone, and they could allow the fear of failure holding them back from taking imperfect actions. So people come to my training program. I help them to implement the freedom pathway. The freedom pathway is to helping them to release all the emotional baggage from the past, which is holding them back from living up to their true potential. Helping them to recognize and appreciate their past, embrace and appreciate their flaw and insecurity, and cultivate and celebrate their uniqueness. And the more they learn to accept and appreciate who they are, and recognize the amazing human being as who they are, the more they can celebrate and cultivate that uniqueness from other, and those other side of them be able to stand out as their authentic self rather than try to fit in. The third skill to master for successful, ambitious, and independent women, which is self-care. What do I mean by self-care? Is take the responsibility to look after yourself. The common challenge I see from successful, ambitious women that they have a lot of work, they have a lot of responsibility to fulfill in their life. They say yes to many things, they give them their time, their energy to many things, but having the difficulty to give time and prioritize the time for themselves. The consequences come with that. Their cup could be empty. They could live a stressful and overwhelming state without even realizing it. Their emotion is unstable, and they could pass that stress, they could pass that negative energy to people around them without realizing it, that they can push people away from them. So people come to my training. I have them to apply the easy well-being practice, which I have them to schedule the time on a weekly basis and have the activity, a clear, easy activity that helping them to fulfill their cup with love, with ease, with acceptance, and with peace, so that they can show up with their best self for wherever they are. Could be at work, could be in the relationship, could be in life. And the more they fulfill their cup, the more they can offer to their life, and the more they can enjoy the little things in their life. They don't need to wait until they cross the finish line, but they can realize and enjoy the richness of life can offer to them right here, right now. They can get more out of their life. The 4 skills to master for successful, ambitious, and independent women, which is self-trust. What do I mean by self-trust? Is to trust your own ability to make the best decision for your life. The challenge I see from my clients that because in the past they've been let down, or they could experience some painful relationship breakup, so their trust is being broken. Now they're afraid to be seen and be heard, and they show up in a new relationship with a cover-up version of themselves. It's very difficult for them to let their guard down and to be vulnerable with other human beings, and that lead to the constant inner conflict within themselves. They crave for love and connection, and yet they are not feeling safe to be seen, be heard, and be vulnerable. How can they connect? How can they love with a cover-up version of themselves, right? It's very difficult. So people come to my training program. I have them to implement the transformational system, which helping them to reclaim the trust come from within, to develop the knowingness and the certainty for whatever life offers, for whatever happened in their life. They can trust themselves to make the best decision for them, for their life. They now can feel safe to be seen, be heard, be vulnerable, which ultimately gonna inspire others to let their guard down and to be seen and be heard and be understood. And the beauty come with that is what helping them to deeper the level of connection. It's helping them to develop a sense of understanding, of belonging, of acceptance, which then allow them to feel safe to give love and receiving love. The 5th skills to master, which is self-identity. Self-identity is the ability to see yourself as the most amazing woman who is capable of co-creating a beautiful, loving relationship with your partner or your future partner. The common problem I see from people who come to my training, which is they don't have the level of clarity on what they're looking for. They don't know how does a beautiful, loving relationship look like to them. What kind of quality that they're looking for from their romantic partner. The consequences come with that. They could say yes to the wrong person. They could settle in unfulfilling relationship and stay in that unsatisfactory, and they could stay in that unfulfilling relationship for years and for years. They settle for less than what they deserve. They waste more of their time and their energy. So people come to my training program. I help them to implement becoming the desirable woman who is capable, who is confident of co-creating a beautiful, loving relationship that she truly desires. we really taking the time to define and redefine how does a beautiful, loving relationship look like to them? What are the quality of a romantic partner that they're looking for? And from their partner perspective, what they're looking for from their woman. With that level of clarity in place, now they can focus to develop those inner qualities and truly become and adopt an identity of a desirable woman. And that desirable woman now become the magnet of attraction, the attraction of her dream relationship. The final skills to master, which is self-control. Self-control is taking accountability for your feeling, your thoughts, and your action, and to take back the power of your life. The challenge I see from successful, independent, and ambitious women, because the amount of work, because the amount of responsibility, they could live a state of burnout, they could live an overwhelming state without knowing. They don't have the awareness about their negative feelings, their negative thoughts. So the consequences come with that. They allow those negativity to stopping them from taking action. They allow the fear to holding them back from moving out of the comfort zone. They allow the fear to stopping them from taking actions. They could be very impatient when they don't see the result that they want. And their emotion could be out of control. They could, instead of acting objectively, now they could react to the situation, and that doesn't serve the highest good. So people come to my training program. I help them to implement the stress-free growth mastery, which is to help them to take accountability for their thoughts, their feeling, and their actions, so that they can show up and they can act objectively and in alignment with who they are and where they want to be in their life. They develop the sense of being patient, of being faithful for their dream. They keep going when they don't see the result. They develop their emotional resilience when they encounter challenge, setback, or obstacle. They allow themselves to take imperfect action, which are the recipe for them to get closer to where they want to be in their life. So if you are ready to take back control of your love life and calling in a beautiful, loving relationship that you truly desire, my invitation is to drop me a message, could be either via this video or contact me via my email. I'm gonna drop in the comment below. So I will be able to notify you when is the next workshop will be. I believe it is our birthright to have a beautiful, loving relationship. If that's something already in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, and in your body, and you willing to do whatever it takes to calling in a beautiful, loving relationship. So I would love to helping you to do that. And if you haven't done so, please click on subscribe button. Anything on this video inspiring you or give you new thoughts, new idea, please let me know in the comment below. I'm looking forward to seeing you from the next video.